like to start with a basic roadmap of the key sections in Dodd-Frank that affected the appraisal industry. And as we move from left to right, you'll see that there are several federal statutes that were affected. We start with the Truth in Lending Act, and actually Section 129H, which was added to the Federal Truth in Lending Act, which implemented certain super appraisal requirements. That rule has not been written. The implementing rule is currently being written. We expect that to come into effect within the next 6 months, but for right now, it is a statutory provision but has not yet been implemented. It creates certain additional requirements for so-called high-risk mortgages. We don't know a lot of detail about what those will look like. We do know that there may be requirements for a second appraisal in certain situations, and that second appraisal, the cost of that second appraisal would not be able to be passed on to your borrower. We'll skip over the next two because that's going to be really the meat of our presentation today and move to Section 1474, which was Dodd-Frank's amendment to the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, particularly relating to the obligation to provide a free copy of the appraisal or valuation to the borrower. We're not really going to touch on that today. If you have questions about that, we'd be happy to give you our thoughts. We've also got an amendment, Section 1475, amendment to RESPA, which permitted separate disclosure of the appraisal management company fee on the HUD-1, did not mandate separation, but permitted it. And then we've got Section 1476, which asked the GAO to do 2 studies, which we'll mention briefly. So coming back to where we've got circled here in the middle, we've got Section 1472, which added appraisal independence requirements to the Federal Truth in Lending Act. That's new Section 129E. And then we've got Section 1473, which we have circled here as the kitchen sink. And that created a scattershot of amendments to FIRREA Title.